Hi, everybody, and welcome to another segment of Habitat Office Hours. I'm your host, Kaya Tolliver. I'm a developer advocate here for Chef Progress, and I'm here with my colleagues, Trevor and Raul. Trevor is, well, actually, go ahead and introduce yourself, Trevor. You guys can introduce yourselves.
Oh, sure. I'm Trevor Hess. I'm the product manager that works with application delivery, which contains Habitat. So, looking forward to chatting with everybody today. Rahul, you want to go?
Go
Thank you,
ahead.
Trevor. So this is Rahul here. I'm the engineering manager for Hab Team and App Delivery, and I work closely with Trevor. To basically on the product and on the team side. Happy to chat with everyone, and really excited to be in this forum.
Awesome sauce. I'm happy to have you guys on and happy to be sharing this with the community. So what are we talking about today? We are going over the OpenSSL security issues. Is that
It's more of a
kind of
certificate issue.
That's right.
okay?
It's a
Rahul,
certificate.
you want to
Yeah.
jump in on that and talk about where we're at?
Definitely. So last week we ran into this issue where one of the certificates has been expired from the CA authority. Let's encrypt, right? And um, and I think although since the information was already out there, but for some reason or the other, we were basically a little bit in the reactive mode, right, where we observed this issue happen in our environments, and then we noticed um, some of the escalations which we were seeing in different Slack channels, right? So I think we have been actively pursuing a fix on that after after we noticed this issue come up. We are basically working to apply a fix in OpenSSL package, and that would mean that we'll have to build and refresh all the reverse dependencies for the OpenSSL package. So as we speak, our team is already working on it. We have identified all the reverse dependencies, which are basically approximately 190 packages. We have also made some code changes to the OpenSSL package, and we are very actively working on the fix, and we hope to get it out in a short period of time. Of course, we will be communicating on the timelines in different channels on for the community as well as for internal chef.
Cool. So are we planning on, or how are we planning on updating the community? Like, will there be should I like, will there be a Slack that goes out on community Slack, or the folks that have, what is it, account managers,
So
or
that's a great
how does that
question,
work?
right? So I think I and Trevor had worked together, and we had put up a forum, a post on our discourse,
Hmm.
which basically shows all um, the immediate workarounds which can be applied in different
Okay.
platforms like Linux, Mac, and Windows, right? So, and what that issue was all about, we had put that up. So I think the plan is to basically keep that updated. So we'll come back with timelines and when that fix is going to be available in the stable channel. We might end up putting a separate post, but I think we'll definitely keep keep everybody updated. So generally, we basically broadcast that information in the community Slack channel which we have. We also broadcast that information through our internal engineering teams, and
Field
through
teams as well.
yeah, exactly, and through our support team as well.
Okay.
Trevor,
All
do you want
right.
to add something there?
Oh, yeah, just adding that the field teams will also be, made
That's right.
aware. We'll broadcast that internally so that everybody knows what's going on. So whatever your preferred method of finding out news about Habitat is, you should find it there.
That's right.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Um, everybody that's joining, actually, thanks. Number one, thanks for joining. Also, we may have an issue on Twitch for emote only chat. Um, if you have questions, feel free to either ask them on YouTube or a monitoring community chat in the Habitat room. So feel free to shoot your questions in either of those places um, as an alternative.
Or just say hey so we know you're out there.
Yeah, check in. Don't be shy. Mhm. So, what else are we talking about today? We are talking about what habitat resources for cookbooks.
That's
I think
right.
that's pretty interesting. Is this something new that's been released?
Kinda. So this came out as part of Chef 17.3, and it's
Okay.
actually it's we moved some of the resources that used to be in the Chef Habitat cookbook into core Chef Infra.
Okay.
So now instead of having to include a whole extra cookbook, all of those resources are now available inside of Chef Infra by default. So you can manage resources for your habitat config, for installing habitat from the beginning, so getting the binary out on the system, installing your individual packages from your private builder instance or public builder, depending on where you expect those packages to come from. Manage the actual service for Habitat and make sure your services are running the way you expect them to be. Manage your supervisor on a given system, as well as the configuration for your individual packages. So you can actually manage your user toml configuration out through your cookbooks as well. So as you're managing the rest of your infra with Chef Infra, you can also use Infra to manage and control the applications that you have deployed through Habitat using these resources inside of Chef Infra. And I'll just quickly show you all of this is documented out on our surprise, surprise doc site.
On the website.
Um, so you can see here we've got everything in here already. So you can see all of the parameters that you can put through and the configuration you can apply
Oh
to
wait,
each
hold
of
on.
these given resources. Um, So you see here we've got the habitat config resources and their parameters that you can apply, the actions that you can take, the install resource as well, package
Nice.
resource. All of these, as I said, are available in Infra Client 17.3 as core resources. You no longer need to pull in that Chef Habitat cookbook. You can do all of this natively inside of your cookbooks using version 17.3 or higher of Infra Client. So that should give you great flexibility in being able to manage your applications as they go out onto your systems that are managed with Chef Infra, letting you do even more things as policy as code.
That is huge.
It's
That seems
super
like,
handy.
I'm sorry.
I said it's super handy.
Yeah. I mean, I
You
think
can set up your policy groups and your policy files with all of the different applications that different systems need to run, all as part of your QuickBook configuration. So when the rest of your system configuration goes out, you can make sure your applications get delivered and managed the same way.
that seems like that seems like it's going to help a lot of people integrate. Because it's a lot less manual
Absolutely.
for sure. So, what questions do you have? We see we've got a few people on
I mean,
on
nobody said hi
YouTube
either.
and a couple on Twitch. I wonder. So, how do you think? Okay, in our typical customers use case, what could you imagine? If you had to guess, what type of time reduction takes place because of that new resource. You know?
I mean, if you're using the Chef Habitat cookbook today, it's not going to make a ton of change for your life. It's just going to be
Okay.
easier because you don't need to include that extra cookbook in your workflow. But if
Hmm.
you're bringing your Habitat packages into your workflow in Infra for the first time, uh, you don't have to go through whatever process you were doing before to get your Habitat packages deployed, managed, stood up, and configured. You can control that all through your policies code engine in Chef Infra.
That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Thank you
Of course.
for explaining that so well. Let's see if we have any questions on Slack. Come on, guys, give us some questions. I don't see anything. Well, Jesus. I'm thinking if we don't have any people with questions, we can probably call this one. What do you think? Are there any other things that we need to call out?
Nothing around Habitat or app delivery. Oh, you know what? We did just last month, and I'm sure everybody's getting tired of us talking about this, but we did last month release our core plan refresh. So all those core foundational packages and base packages were updated. So if you haven't already pulled those in and started working with them and updating your packages, you should do that.
Yes, definitely do that. 'Cause otherwise, you set yourself up for just kicking it down the road, you know, and tech debt.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you guys for hopping
Thank
on
you.
today.
Thanks for hosting.
Yeah, for sure. If there is nothing else, I think we're going to call it today. Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too. Take care,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye, everyone. Take care. Bye.